Good, happy Monday evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this edition of In the Spotlight right here on the Riley King Network. This week, we're going to feature singer Sia. In a career filled with ups and downs, Sia Fuller has been in demand guest vocalist, a quirky singer/songwriter, a hitmaker for the likes of Rihanna and Beyonce, and more, popular than ever as an artist in her own right in the 2010s. Although raised in Australia, Fuller rose to fame after moving to the UK, where she worked as a guest vocalist for several groups, including the electrical duo 07, and released her own solo album in 1975. She first performed on the Adderley Jazz circuit during the 90s as a vocalist for the band Crisp. An attempt to launch a solo career in 1997 didn't pan out, though, and she eventually happened to hopped on a plane to London. While there, she landed a gig as a backup singer for Jack Wong and inked a solo contract with Dance Pool, a substantial of Sony. Sia released her first single, Taken for Granted, in the early 2000s. Although the song only peaked at a number of 100 on the Australian charts, it rose to the number 10 in the UK and increased European demand for her debut album, Hearing is Difficult, which followed in 2001. At the same time, a string of big names in the British music scene began asking for Sia's service. Offers from 07 and William Orbit ensued, although some projects only called for Sia to sing on one song. Her association with 07 provided to be a recurring thing. She ultimately remained with 07 for 3 albums, serving as the group's go-to vocalist, while also furthering her own career with solo releases of Colorer, The Small One, and Some People Have Real Problems. Meanwhile, Sia also began building the audience in America. One of the songs from Colorer and Small One, Breathe Me, gained attention when it was used in a collaborate film scene of the 6 Feet Under series, and resulted buzz allowed her to enjoy a successful statewide tour. That tour was documented on her first live release of Lady Consent in 2007. By the following year, Sia's American audience had increased to the point that Some People Have Real Problems, her third album, debuted at number 26. 07 began working on another album in 2009, but Sia had already shifted most of her attention to furthering her own career, and the band hired another singer in her place. Working alongside Bassett Sam Daxon, she boosted her songwriting cred by writing several songs for Christina Aguilera, who put the songs on her 2010 release, Bionic. Sia also continued writing songs for herself, and We Are Born marked her most upbeat album to date in 2010. It was also on to become very successful, charting around the world and going to number 2 in Australia. But Sia, whose shy and withdrawn personality was at odds with her public appearance, began to struggle with the pursuit of fame. She became addicted to alcohol and drugs and almost committed suicide before a phone call from a friend pursued her to enter rehab instead. She spent the next few years out of the spotlight, continuing to parallel career as a backroom songwriter for the likes of Madonna, Britney Spears, Beyonce, Selena, Dion, and Rihanna, for whom she wrote the worldwide #1 smash hit Diamonds in 2013. She started on a new album, working once again with producer Greg Kurstin. Or for another breakdown, she eventually negotiated a near-patented contract with RCA, speculating that she would have not to tour or do press. Her first public appearance to promote the album on the Ellen DeGeneres show saw her performance her new single, Chandelier. With her back to the audience, the album, entitled 1000 Forms of Fear, arrived in July of 2014. It promptly hit #1 in several countries, including the US and Australia. Flair and Kurstin also reworked existing music and wrote 3 new songs for the 2014 adaptation of the Broadway musical Annie, one of their new compositions. Opportunity was nominated at the 72nd Golden Globe Awards for Best Original Song. At the 77th Annual Grammy Awards, Chandelier scored nominations for Record of the Year, Best Pop Solo Performance, and Best Music Video. Empowered by the acclaimed 100 Forms of Fear earned, Sia began working on its follow-up in the early 2015. Late that year, the single Alive, which Fleur co-wrote with Adele and Bird Set Free, heralded the January 2016 release of This Is Acting, a pop-oriented set of songs rejecting by the artists such as Katy Perry, Rihanna, and Adele. In July, Cheap Thrills, the second official single that was originally intended for Rihanna, became Sia's first Billboard 100 chart topper. And let's take a look at some songs that Sia came out with. And here we go. Here are some songs Sia came out with. In 2016, she came out with the song Cheap Thrills featuring Sean Paul. Also in 2016, she came out with the song The Greatest featuring Kendrick Lamar. Also in 2016, she came out with the song Alive, Unstoppable, and Cheap Thrills. And in 2014, she came out with the song Chandelier and Elastic Heart. Those are some of Sia's songs. And by the way, Sia will be performing at the TD Garden tomorrow night. So, we are going to give away some Sia tickets right now. Be caller number 5 right now to win a pair of Sia tickets. And here now is Sia's song, The Greatest, featuring Kendrick Lamar. Have a wonderful Monday night. Good night, everyone.